I quote, "Our flag does not fly because the wind moves it. It flies with the last breath of every soldier who died protecting it." I end quote. Namaste, and a very warm welcome to everyone gathered here today. We are delighted to have you with us as we come together as one school community to commemorate Kargil Vijay Diwas, a day that reminds us of the extraordinary courage, sacrifice, and unwavering spirit of the brave soldiers who safeguarded our nation's honor during the Kargil War of 1999. Every year on 26 July, India remembers the heroes who placed duty before self and inspired generations through their selfless service and unwavering patriotism. As we honor their legacy today, we also celebrate the values they stood for: courage, resilience, integrity, and an undying love for the nation. It is indeed a matter of immense pride that we are joined by someone who not only witnessed history but also became a part of it: a pioneer, a soldier, an educator, a leader, and an inspiration to countless people across our country. Please join me in extending a heartfelt welcome to our guest for the day, Captain Yashika Hatwal Tyagi.
Jai Hind to the wonderful and bright students of the Shriram Millennium School.
Jai
Wonderful to
Hind.
be here and wonderful to celebrate this awesome day with all of you. It's a glorious day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bhavisha.
Ma'am, we are truly honored to have you with us this morning. Namaste, everyone. It is my privilege to introduce our esteemed guest, Captain Yashika Hatwal Tyagi. Captain Yashika Hatwal Tyagi is a Kargil veteran, defense analyst, TEDx speaker, leadership mentor, and inspirational keynote speaker. Commissioned into the Army Ordnance Corps in 1994 during Operation Vijay, she became the first woman logistics officer to serve in the Kargil battle zone, ensuring that essential supplies reached our soldiers serving on the front lines under extremely challenging conditions. Her story is one of extraordinary courage and commitment. While serving the nation during the Kargil War, she continued to perform her demanding responsibilities with remarkable determination and resilience. Beyond the battlefield, Captain Yashika has also devoted herself to healthcare, education, and social inclusion. As the principal of Asha School, she worked tirelessly to empower specially abled children and promote inclusive education. She has received several prestigious honors, including the Asmita Icon Award presented by the Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, in recognition of her inspiring journey and distinguished service to the nation. Today, through her inspiring talks and her storytelling platform, Shaurya Tales, she continues to motivate people with timeless lessons on leadership, resilience, teamwork, and nation building. Your journey reminds us that true leadership is built not only through courage in difficult times, but also through compassion and service towards society. We are deeply honored to have you with us today. Every life has defining moments that shape not only an individual, but also inspire generations. We've just heard about Captain Yashika Ma'am's remarkable journey. Now it's time to hear directly from her. To take this interaction forward, I invite Aratrika Gupta, who will be in conversation with our esteemed guest this morning. Over to you, Aratrika.
Thank you, Bhavisha. Namaste, ma'am. It is truly a privilege to interact with you today. On behalf of all the students, I extend a very warm welcome to you once again. We've heard about your remarkable achievements and your service to our nation. But today, we'd love to know the person behind those achievements, the dreams that inspired you, the experiences that shaped you, and the values that continue to guide you even today. Thank you for taking out the time to be with us. Shall we begin?
Certainly, all yours.
Ma'am, I'd like to begin by taking you back to the beginning of your journey. When you were our age, what did you dream of becoming? Did you always want to join the army? Or was there a special moment that changed everything?
Oh, Ratrika, what a wonderful question you have asked me. I wish I could tell you where you are sitting today that I had my whole life planned. No, it was not like that. When I was your age, I would spend endless hours speaking to my friends, worrying before examinations, failing many times in mathematics exam. And all this time, I had dreams. But then the dreams kept changing. At different times, I imagined different futures. But I think one thread that remained constant in my life was a pull towards uniform. Probably it had something to do with my father, who was an army officer. So the pull of uniform was so much that in class 5, I joined Scouts and Guides. And from class 6th, 7th onwards, till college, I was an NCC cadet. You know, the uniform gives you something very different in life. It sometimes changes you internally. It gives you that sense of discipline, the sense of time management, and one feels very confident when you are wearing a uniform. And I think that slowly, gradually shaped the mind. And that was also the time when I met my first role model, of course, only through magazines. And that was Madam Kiran Bedi. And women who are of my generation, I think she was uh, a national craze for all of us. We admired her for the courage and the way she broke barriers as India's first woman IPS officer. And I wanted to be like her. I wanted to wear the uniform. I wanted to be the Dunda man like her. And वो एक पिक्चर का डायलॉग है ना, आप किसी चीज को शिद्दत से चाहो तो कायनात उसे आपके लिए लेके आती है. And I think that is just very, very true for me that I was at the right age, at the right time, at the right place when Army opened its gates for girls. I appeared for the Army selection exam, cleared it in first attempt, not because I was some over smart character or overly intelligent. No, nothing like that. I think I was focused. I was disciplined and I was committed to my dream. When I'm sharing with you my journey, let me tell each one of you that you are living in a golden age of opportunity. आप वो टाइम पे हो बेटा जब आप जो चाहो जिंदगी में आप वो बन सकते हो. And you want to become an astronaut, you want to become a scientist, an entrepreneur, a dancer, a sports person. And I think you all are capable of creating those professions that probably don't even exist now. So when I share with you my story, I want to tell all of you that if someone like me could do it then, even without the aid of resources or technology or so many other things, life was not very kind in my childhood. But all of you here are so much more equipped. Read a lot, meet a lot of people, explore the world. And that is how you will shape as to what you want to become in life. Don't rush. Don't rush towards thinking of your career. Equip yourself. And slowly, gradually, your mind will tell you what you want to do in life. Your ideas will shape up. Ask questions. Stay curious. And the more you explore the world, the better you will understand what you want to become and who you want to become. And in all this process, never lose that smile. A happy heart learns more. A heart full of gratitude becomes stronger. So ये दोनों चीजों को एकदम ऐसे पकड़ के रखना. And maybe one of you sitting here today will become Prime Minister of India, will become the next Olympian with a gold medal. Who knows? You are the future and dream bold, dream big, and work honestly.
Thank you, ma'am. It's wonderful to know that every great journey begins with a dream and that sometimes one decision has the power to change the course of our lives. Ma'am, every year our school commemorates Kargil Vijay Diwas by interacting with Kargil War Veterans. We feel incredibly fortunate to listen to the inspiring experiences of the brave hearts who have served our nation with such courage and dedication. Although we learn about the Kargil War through books and documentaries, listening to someone who actually experienced those defining moments helps us understand history in a much deeper way. And that brings me to my next question. Ma'am, could you share a few of your experiences from your time during the Kargil War that have stayed with you over the years and still continue to inspire you even today?
Ratrika, Kargil remains a very, very uh, important chapter in not just military history, but in my life. I was part of this glorious moment in India's military history. And I am so proud to say that I was part of this glorious Battle of Kargil, which is Operation Vijay, from the day it started till the day it ended. I was one of the first few women officers who were part of the entire sequence of events that was taking place. When people think of Kargil, they think of those icy mountains. That is the first image that comes to mind. The images are of those booming guns, the soldiers with their guns, isn't it? That is what comes to your mind also, Ratrika, when you think of Battle of Kargil. I was a logistics officer, and responsibility of my unit and myself was to equip our fighting forces with everything that they need to fight an effective battle. May it be the extreme cold climate clothing. They are different kind of clothings than what we wear in, in plain areas, because temperature can dip down to -10, -15. Ammunition of all kinds of guns. The logistics was also looking after the rations and the fuel. I mean, everything that you can picture in my mind, that how a soldier looks like, from the helmet till uniform, the bulletproof, the shoes, the gun, the ammunition, the radio sets, everything that you can imagine a soldier in, all that, to equip a soldier with all of that is responsibility of logistics. And so, one fact that really comes to mind is that no soldier fights alone. You know, every day, right from my unit, I could see the airfield where huge Indian Air Force aircrafts would land, bringing soldiers from all parts of the country. They would also come from the road route. The logistics were required to equip them. From there, these soldiers moved on to front lines. When we think of the battle, we cannot imagine Battle of Kargil without those Air Force pilots flying and bombarding over enemy posts. We cannot imagine without those helicopters doing casualty evacuation. We cannot dream without those engineers who were repairing roads and everything in the real time. We cannot imagine Battle of Kargil without those signals people, the telecommunication people who were keeping the communication on. The doctors, the nurses, uh, families waiting, children writing letters to the soldiers in the front line. And, you know, the shopkeepers refused to charge anything from the army vehicles that were passing en route, bringing soldiers to front lines. The entire nation stood as one. And when I think of Kargil, of course, I think of all those moments of how army was fighting, but I cannot think of it in isolation without even thinking of those people across India who were donating blood for the soldiers. So, uh, ordinary citizens stood on the roads waving at the soldiers. When we had the mortal remains of soldiers coming back, uh, the entire nation stood to support and give their respects to them. So it's the question that you have asked me is that what is that thing that has stayed with me from Kargil? I think These moments when entire nation stands up as one entity, that is what has stayed with me. And I think that unity is a great strength booster for armed forces. The morale of Indian armed forces, when I say armed forces, speaking of Army, Navy, Air Force. And that is the India I witnessed. And that is what I hope that each one of you will continue to build. एक पुरानी पिक्चर का गाना है कि हम लाए हैं तूफान से कश्ती निकाल के, इस देश को रखना मेरे बच्चों संभाल के. This is what Kargil is never in isolation in my mind. It is always, always, always in totality. And I salute the great countrymen who stood by armed forces. And Aratrika, this was also one of the, uh, uh, not one of the, it was in fact the first battle or first operation of this magnitude that was sometimes being telecasted live on the television sets. So people sitting at home were seeing what is happening in first time. The Tiger Hill, when Vikram Batra says, "Ye dil mange more," all these moments have been captured in real time, and that is what makes Operation Vijay such a such a connect and such a bond.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing these wonderful experiences with us. I would now like to move on to our next question. Today, we see women becoming fighter pilots, astronauts, and leaders in many fields. When you became one of the first women officers in such a challenging role, did you ever feel nervous? What helped you move forward with confidence?
Oh ho ho, khatarnak. If I say that I was never scared, I was never nervous, I think I will be telling lie. So let me share with you that when I uh, joined, when I reached Chennai, that is where the Officers Training Academy is. I reached from my little town, I reached Chennai by a train journey, a long train journey. There was a big bus that was there. उसमें लिखा था ऑफिसर्स ट्रेनिंग अकेडमी, जैसे आपकी स्कूल बस होती है ऐसी एक ऑलिव ग्रीन कलर्ड बस वाज देयर, ऑफिसर्स ट्रेनिंग अकेडमी चेन्नई. And I sat on it. It had come to pick up all those, the new cadets who were to join the academy. And I was so proud and feeling very excited that now I'm going to academy. बस चली, चेन्नई ऐसे आगे से ऐसे पास होता गया, धीरे 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 करके we started nearing the, a place called St. Thomas Mount. And then came a big gate. On top of it was written Officers Training Academy. And just as I saw that gate, Ratrika, my stomach just dropped. I was scared. Why? I thought that whether I will be able to do this training. Have I overreached? Will I be able to do justice to this uniform which my father once wore? But then that thought was momentary. The moment the bus entered, the gates opened and the bus entered, I was looking all around, and then that fear went away. Then that excitement came back. And from next day onwards, the training began. Okay. So the training slowly, gradually started with the drill square, the parade. It included weapon training of all kinds, the small arms, the automatics, horse riding, dining etiquettes, Indian military history, tactics, everything that requires an officer to be shaped 360 degree. But then there was one test that seemed like a huge setback to me. I will never use the word failure. I will say replace the word failure with the word setback, because failure has a permanency to it. Setback is always temporary. So there was a setback that I did not know swimming. And swimming is a mandatory test in academy. If you don't clear swimming test, you have to repeat entire training. And I used to joke that I'm not a swimmer, I'm a stone. मुझे स्विमिंग पूल में डालो और मैं पत्थर की तरह डूब जाती हूँ. I could not learn swimming. And that was uh, causing me a lot of palpitations that what will happen if I don't learn swimming? Very nervous, very scared. And one day when swimming test came, I was asked to jump from the 7-meter board, and I just jumped without um, without knowing how to swim properly, without knowing how to jump, not sharing with anybody. I just jumped and I fell a wrong way. I hurt my face, I hurt my shoulder, uh, but also I started drowning. And next thing I remember, when I came to my consciousness that the lifeguard had, pulled me out, I was on the side of the swimming pool, and then I was crying. And I cried and cried because I did not want to fail that test. And then the swimming instructor, what he said really changed the arc of my life. He said that, Yashika, तुम दुनिया से लड़के यहाँ तक आई हो. You have fought with your circumstances to reach here. तो क्या अभी पानी से डर के तुम यहाँ से चली जाओगी? That was a moment that I just wiped my tears and I said, no, I'm not going to be defeated by water. And then there was a shift. And that also taught me that courage does not mean that it is absence of fear. We all feel scared of something or the other sometime in our life. But courage does not mean absence of fear. Courage means taking the next step despite feeling scared. And that one step, and that one step, and that one step. लोगों को लगता है कि कॉन्फिडेंस पहले आता है, एक्शन बाद में आता है. If I'm confident, only then I can go to stage. Something like that. No, it is the other way around. You take action and confidence follows. And that is my journey. You asked me, did I feel nervous? Oh, yes. Did I feel scared? Oh, yes. But was I defeated? Absolutely not. Not. And that is what I want to share with all of you. Don't wait to feel confident. Don't. Start anyway. Confidence will come. Confidence के पास कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं होना चाहिए. उसे आना ही पड़ेगा आपके पास, क्योंकि आप मेहनत करना नहीं छोड़ रहे हो. Right? And something has just come to my mind. There is a fantastic quote by Maya Angelou. And she says that if you are always trying to be normal, you do not know how amazing you can be. So, चकदे फटे ते नब्दे गिल्ली, डरना नहीं है, रुकना नहीं है, कभी भी नहीं.
Your journey teaches us that confidence doesn't always come before a challenge, but sometimes it grows because we choose to face that challenge with determination. Beyond your service in the army, another chapter of your life has touched countless young lives. As the principal of Asha School, you work closely with specially abled children. What did these children teach you about courage, resilience, and how can we as students create an environment where every child feels valued, respected, and included?
When reached, when I joined Asha School is a chain of schools that is run by Indian Army in various cities of India, various military cantonments of India, where we give the conducive environment for all special children to grow. And when I reached Asha school, I always thought that I would motivate children. But it was the other way around. I reached there and I came back feeling that it is they who have encouraged me. When I reached Asha school, I felt that, I was in a bit of an ego that I am going to encourage these children. But it turned the other way around. Working with Asha school gave me the view that how important it is to keep your human side working. That first day of the school, I saw children in morning prayer. National anthem was playing. It was the quietest national anthem ever in my life, but the most patriotic one because children were not singing. The children were doing they were showing each line with their sign language. National anthem had come to life. It was patriotism of next level. Asha school taught me something so profound that in life you do not need words. You need heart. You need heart. Children were in different, facing different challenges in their lives, but they never said, why me? Rather, I always saw them with a smile, always helping the other fellow student. I never saw them snitching. I never saw them stealing. I never saw them complaining. I never saw them bullying. I saw that they gave their best every single day. And they touched my life in the bestest examples of humanity. And so, Aratrika, if you ask me today that how can you make feel every child valued, respected, included, you don't have to be superhuman. You have to be just human. You have to just be the person that you are and keep that sense open. As in, notice if there is a child who's standing alone, include, include that child. Offer the child a seat. Offer the child that place, that space in this, either in a laboratory or in the playgrounds. Invite someone to join your games. Don't laugh if someone is looking different. That is the worst thing that you can do. You can scar a child for life if you laugh. Clap the loudest when you see a child who's taking efforts. Be a cheerleader. Don't be a cheerleader only for the person who's coming first. You know, uh, kindness is not shown in grand gestures. It is seen in small, little, everyday actions. Conversation. Have a conversation. Offer a seat, as I just said. Offer a hand at the right moment. And I will also go to the length, and I'll close my answer by just saying this, that, you know, world does not know a nation or does not identify a nation by how great the country's army is. A country is known by the character of its citizens. And likewise, a school is not known only by how good a result is. What is the percentage in board exams? How many of you have cracked IIT or NEET or, other competitive exams? A school is not known only by that. A school is known by the quality of its students. The students who will go ahead and be India of tomorrow. And so focus on that kindness. that sense of gratitude. Remember, you are not going to change someone's day, you are going to change someone's life.
Thank you, ma'am. Your words remind us that true courage is not only found on the battlefield, but it is also found in kindness, empathy, and our willing to stand beside one another. And that brings me to my final question. Many children today spend a lot of time on phones, social media, and technology. In this fast changing world, what qualities do you think we, as young people, should develop if we want to make India stronger and better in the future?
Oh, Aratrika, I think your generation is incredibly fortunate. All the teachers sitting here in this panel of my generation will agree with me that when we had to look for information as students, we had to look at books and library and magazines and in various books related to, when we had to prepare for different competitions, to go through a lot of books and search for the information, and it would take time. But you, my dears, have information on your palm tops. You can type, you can speak, and there is the answer. You have access to knowledge, and that is something that is so incredibly great. With that phone in your hand, you can learn a new language. You don't have to enroll in a class. You have to just, you know, uh, go to that particular site or domain and learn a new language, learn coding, explore history, understand space. There is so much that you can do. You can listen to the greatest teachers, you can listen to the greatest of talks, you can connect with the people world over. That is the power of technology. And now with AI coming in, the world is changing, it's pivoting like this. And so technology, I think, is the greatest gift your generation has received. A couple of days back, we all witnessed that wonderful uh, uh, Skyroot, the aerospace mission that took off, all executed by the young ones using technology to its best. ये है आपका भारत. So, question that you have asked me, my dear. So the question is not whether you should use it. The only question is how you choose to use it. That's all. And so the question that each one of you should be soul searching is, am I using technology or is technology using me? That is the question. Because your phone can be a classroom or your phone can be a distraction. Remember, in pre-pandemic years, it was banned for mobile to be brought to school. And then when pandemic happened, the school came to mobile. And that is where, from your laptops, from your phones, everybody was joining in the classes. And today, as I'm speaking with all of you, thank you to this technology that's sitting here, I am able to speak to each one of you. So use technology as a piece of equipment. In Army, we say that every piece of equipment is effective as the discipline of the person who's using it. Same as with technology. How you use it. You can, build robots. Your artificial intelligence can write essays. Your machines can perform great feats. But the point, technology cannot replace your heart. Technology cannot replace courage. Technology cannot replace that feeling that says, I'm not going to call it quits. I'm going to move on. Okay, I failed, but I'm going to get up again. Machine cannot do that. Machine needs commands. And so tomorrow's India will not be built by artificial intelligence alone. It will be built by the person behind it. And so use technology to make a living and use your character to make a difference. That is what my generation does not only want from you, but this is what we demand of you. And one more thing I really want to say, really want to say, and that will be my last sentence for this answer, that in this time of social media, you know, everybody is looking at how many likes I have got on my posts, how many followers I have got, whether I'm getting praises, what kind of comments are there, or people are so easy to troll someone, and that trolling causes lot of sadness and lot of heartburn. Um, remember, remember, और इसको गांठ बांध के रखना. Do not give your remote of happiness in anyone's hand. The nameless, the faceless people hiding behind comments, trolling. Remember, do not look for validation from the people who are not valid to validate you. Do not give that much importance to social media. Focus on yourself, build yourself, build your character, work on yourself. The only people who matter in your life are counted few in your fingers. You have to have your own little circle around you. Tell yourself. I know it is not easy, but that is something you will have to. This is a devil of your times. As technology gives you a lot of pluses, it also gives you a lot of minuses. But you have to equip yourself for that. So focus on yourself, not on what environment is telling you. Oh, over to you, Aratrika.
Thank you so much for spending this wonderful time with us, ma'am. On behalf of every student, teacher, and parent present here, thank you for your extraordinary service to our country and for sharing your invaluable experiences with us today. It has truly been an honor interacting with you. With your kind permission, may we now invite a few questions from our students?
Oh, certainly.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to welcome our Aranya Bansal of grade 9 from TSMS Gurugram to proceed with her question.
Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste. Be a little louder.
Namaste, ma'am. I'm a student at grade 9 at the Shriram Millennium School, Gurugram. My question to you is, what is one lesson from the defense forces that every young Indian should learn but is rarely taught in schools or shown on TV?
Namaste, beta. आपने तो बहुत बढ़िया क्वेश्चन पूछा. That is something that that really makes me ponder and makes me think, and of course puts a lot of responsibility on my shoulders. It's a wonderful question. You know, the first thing that defense forces teaches us is जो motto है ना Indian Army का, that says service before self. And that quote, that motto defines the life of every person who wears uniform. And that is something I want to give to each one of you. That is something I would like to share with all of you. So today, when the world around you constantly tells you to chase success, to chase followers, to chase popularity or recognition, and unconsciously, we train our minds by measuring ourselves with what do we get, what we are doing, and what we are getting. But Army teaches you just the opposite. Army teaches you to measure your life but by what you are giving back to the society, what you are giving. Okay, let me make it simple and easy for you all to understand. When you think of a soldier, the picture that comes to your mind is a soldier standing guard on highest posts of Siachen Glacier, सब तरफ बर्फ है, icy mountains हैं, or the soldiers guarding the borders of our country, may it be jungles, the marshy lands, or the deserts where sandstorms are going. When you see military doctors who are working day in, day out uh, in disasters, when or in news, when you see that military helicopter really, helping the people to be rescued from the flood areas. Army people are just doing their duty. They are not looking for clapping. They are not looking for recognition. They are people whose names also you do not know. You will never come to know. They just do their duty without expecting anything in return. They never feel, if we are doing this duty, what will I get? Will I get a medal? Will I get an award? No. They simply wear their uniforms every day and say, I have to show up for my nation. And so I wish that every student learns this very early in their lives, that whether you become an educator or a scientist or an entrepreneur, an astronaut, people will remember you not because you were the smartest person in the room. People will remember you if you made their life a little better. And when I'm speaking to students, you can think of your teachers in your minds, that there are teachers who are making effort to help you navigate one day at a time, to making you reach to your goals without thinking of, oh, whether I'm going to get an award of the best teacher of the year. No, they are simply doing their duty every single day. Think of your mothers, think of your parents. Do they think that, oh, if I take care of my child, I am going to get award of the best parent of the year? No, they are simply doing their duty. They are showing up for you every single day. And that is the power of selfless leadership. And that is what I want every student to take from Defense Forces, and not only from Defense Forces, from the people around you also, who are only focused in making your life better one day at a time. And be that person for someone. Make someone's life better one day at a time.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we have Gurasi Singh Narang of grade 12 from TSMS Faridabad. Please go ahead with your question.
Namaste, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for the engaging session. The session was really engaging. Ma'am, the armed forces are often seen as a career for few. What are some common myths about joining the defense services that you would like to break?
I am so glad that someone asked that question. Thank you so much for asking it. In our times, 99% of the students in school, we all wanted to join armed forces. But slowly, gradually, the uh, the actually options भी बहुत कम होते थे उस टाइम पर. Doctor or engineer or a lawyer or in defense. Now with changing times, as technological advances is coming, as society is growing, uh, that myth is breaking, that there are only few career options. Now, if you are good in anything, you can make a career out of it. But since you have asked me this particular question about breaking few myths about armed forces, so many people feel that to join armed forces, you have to be a special kind of person. You have to be fearless. You have to be, that is a thought in people's minds. Uh, you have to be very strong. You have to be fearless. You have to have a different kind of, attributes, extraordinary talent. These are all the myths that need to be broken at the first moment they come up. Forces are not looking at a perfect person. Armed forces are not looking at a person who's an infallible, who is like, six pack abs or Rambo or an individual gladiator. Nothing like that. Armed forces is only looking for those mentally wired people who are wired to uh, learn, ready to learn, who are ready to solve problems, whose minds do not say quits at a roadblock, who are thinking of finding solutions, who are ready to lead people. And when I say lead people, I'm not saying to be bossy. I'm saying to be able to take your team with you. उसके लिए कई बार आपको झुकना पड़ता है, कई बार समझाना पड़ता है, कई बारी you have to make bridges. You have to have you have to be a people's person. You cannot have ego. So armed forces is always looking at the people who are ready to learn, who are ready to serve. In my previous answer, I said service before self. If you can keep yourself at the back and think of mission, that is a kind of person that service selection board is looking at. Um, in one of the previous answers, I said that I was nervous before joining academy. I was nervous when I was to learn swimming. So this goes on to prove that Army did not ask me to arrive perfect. Army did not look for a candidate who knows everything before joining. They only asked for a Yashika who is ready to learn, ready to accept that she does not know few things, ready to get up every time she falls, ready to say that I am going to move ahead with my team and not be an individual gladiator, ready to say that for me, my nation comes first, always and every time. And so, Army helped me discover my strength. And when I say my, it goes on true for every person who joins armed forces. Can you learn? Can you lead? Can people trust you? Most importantly, will you stand up when it matters? And all these qualities can be developed by everyone. You sitting here in the school, you can develop all these qualities. Every single child can develop these. And there is a place for everyone in armed forces. You want to become a lawyer, you want to become a doctor, you want to become an engineer, you want to become an astronaut, right? The astronauts, the two astronauts that we have had in our nation, both come from Indian Air Force. And so that is any career that you want to take in your life, there is a place for it in armed forces. And I always say that armed forces is not a profession. It is not a career. It is a way of life. It is a way, or rather, let me put it this way, it is a place where character matters as much as the competence does. Here you will not read leadership in a chapter book. Here leadership is lived every single day. To all you young ones out there, don't ask yourself, can I join army? Ask yourself, why not me? And probably this question changes your life. And probably someday, sitting across like this, I will be listening to your story. I
Thank you,
hope I have
ma'am.
answered your question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. That was truly inspiring.
May I now request Anya Sarogai from TSMS Noida to please ask her question?
Namaste, ma'am. I'm Anya from
Namaste.
TSMS Noida. I study in grade 9. So, my question for you today is how do you think that the lessons of Kargil remain relevant for India's youth today?
Hmm. See, for my generation, Kargil was lived experience. For your generation, it has the legacy has been passed on as a chapter in the book. But the challenge here is that it should not remain a chapter in your book. And so when you ask me this question, it is my responsibility to share with you what are the things that Kargil has left an indeniable mark in our lives. So I will answer it in two, 3 points, right? The first lesson that Kargil taught me and I share with all of you is that the sense of purpose. Every soldier who was fighting the battle, who was going on ahead, walking into sure face of death, knew that it is a daredevil operation. They may come back alive, they may not come back alive. They were willing to give up their lives, leave alone comfort of their homes. They did not even uh, think of the family back home. For them, that the purpose was, the mission was to defeat the enemy, to keep the dignity of the tricolor flying high always and every time. And for this purpose, they were willing to give up their lives. Imagine the supreme sacrifice, the ultimate sacrifice. 527 brave soldiers gave up their lives, and their families are proud of them. Armed forces is proud of them. The nation is proud of them. But there were hundreds who got injured in many ways. There were few who lost their limbs. There were someone who lost an arm or two. There were some who lost their legs. There were some whose bodies are riddled with shrapnels. And so this is a very, the sense of purpose was huge. The second point that I really want to share with all of you is the teamwork. Battle of Kargil taught all of us. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I just thought that there was a glitch. The second thing that Battle of Kargil teaches each one of us is the teamwork. The the soldier who was standing on those icy peaks and fighting, he was not alone. He had a whole chain behind him, right till the last citizen of this nation who was supporting him. And so, when we think of Kargil, the first word that comes to my mind is purpose. The second word that comes to my mind is teamwork. And the third and the most important word is character. We are known by our character. We are known by the consistency of our character. Whenever there is a challenging situation or there is a natural calamity, even if when a child falls into the borewell, the sentence is army ko bulao. Why it is said like that? Because army has consistently proved that it stays true to its training, it stays true to its discipline, it stays true to its focus. And if it is true for an organization, it can be true for each one of us. You, me, everybody. We all should be like fire and forget missile. एक बार हमको काम मिल गया, एक बार हमको किसी ने कुछ चीज बोल दिया, तो फिर हमको बार बार किसी को याद दिलाने की जरूरत नहीं होनी चाहिए. We should go out there and deliver it, reach the target, and perform as the best version of ourselves. That is what Kargil taught me. Kargil should teach you. And these are lessons for life. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you once again, everybody. Thank you, ma'am, for such an engaging session. I now request Bhavisha to take it forward.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Aratrika. You've been excellent.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ratrika, and thank you, Captain Yashika, ma'am, for taking us through a journey that was not only inspiring but also deeply moving. Today, through your experiences, we learned that true courage is not simply about facing challenges on the battlefield, it is about standing firm in our values, leading with integrity, embracing every challenge with resilience, and serving others with compassion. Your life reminds us that heroes are not remembered only for the battles they fight, but for the lives they inspire. Ma'am, your words have left us with invaluable lessons that we will carry with us long after today's program comes to an end. Thank you for your unwavering service to our nation and for taking the time to inspire each one of us. On behalf of the entire school community, we express our heartfelt gratitude for your presence today. It has truly been an honor and a privilege to have you with us. As we conclude this meaningful interaction, let us carry forward the values that our brave soldiers have always upheld: courage in the face of adversity, selfless service, unwavering integrity, and above all, love for our nation. These are values that each one of us can practice every day in our classrooms, our homes, and our communities. May I now request our Vice Principal, Annapurna ma'am, to propose the vote of thanks. Over to you, Annapurna ma'am.
Thank you,
Bhavisha.
Bhavisha.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bhavisha. That was so beautifully said. I don't think I could have said it any better. And we really, really now need to put our hands together for Captain Yashika. Everybody out there, I would request you to unmute and please let's hear it for Captain Yashika. What an incredible story.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. Thank you.
lessons, as you mentioned.
Thank you.
Kirti ma'am has a few visuals that Captain Yashika has very kindly shared with us, and Kirti ma'am has put it together in the form of a moving visual of video. Thank you, Kirti ma'am. That was really, really just a glimpse, I'm sure, of the incredible life that you have. Captain Yashika, just as a closing note, I would like to say that I carry back a lot of lessons and a lot of thoughts that will stay with me after this session. I'm sure with the children, it'll be the same. You spoke about character and competence being a way of life at the army. And At our school, we talk about core values, which are our
Absolutely.
golden threads. And what better way to talk about values than by meeting somebody who has been living them in real life like you have?
Thank you, Captain Tyagi. I think it has been an absolute privilege and honor to hear you speak. Every bit you shared, I think within this video we've been able to capture so many nuggets from you, each one being a life lesson. And my one takeaway from your talk today is courage is not about having no fear. It is about getting up and moving that one step. And the other one, so very well said, that moms don't think when they're doing things for the children, you just do your thing, children. Just take one day at a time and do what you've got to do. Forget about the results, forget about the accolades. Enjoy your life. You are very, very fortunate to be a part of this school, I think. And we are very blessed to have people as renowned as Captain Tyagi speak to our children. You will remember this talk many, many years later. When you are going through life, keep these lessons in mind, and you will be able to take that one step and the next and the next and the next. God bless you. Thank you once again. Jai
Thank
Hind.
you so much, Sonali ji. Thank you so much,
Thank,
Anpurna ji, and
thank you.
Bhavisha, Aratrika, the entire support staff, the wonderful students, so patiently listening. I I am so glad that I could be part of this great day, glorious day, celebrating it with all of you. Thank you so much.
And when in Delhi, we are just there. We are a phone call away. Our school gates are always open, ready to welcome you. Looking forward to seeing you. And I love your energy across the screen. Really hoping to meet you in person, ma'am. Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for such warmth and affection. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
Jai Hind.
Thank you.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.